out on the streets with my head in my hands. I've got no plans, only to see you again. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I like being kicked on the ground. I'm not that strong, but then I come to my senses. I'm coming, you can feel my power, and I feel what is real when she feels me, and I feel what is real when she feels me, and I feel. Don't do that man with the scar on his face. It's a charade. It's just the way you've been living. Yeah! I'm coming. You can feel my power. And I feel what is real when she feels it. And I feel what is real when she feels me, yeah. And I feel what is real when she feels me. And I feel what is real when she feels me, yeah. And I feel what is real when she feels me. And I feel what is real when she feels me, yeah. And I feel.
Hi everyone, Dan here, and I just wanted to put a little snippet about AstroWorld and what we do because I want to start getting the word out because I think it's becoming more and more of a giant community, and I want to get the word out to some other people. So what we do at AstroWorld is We hold astrophotography chats on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we just talk astrophotography. Wednesday's more of a techie kind of advanced intermediate, and Fridays is more of a newbie kind of thing. So if you want to check us out, and if you want to, hang out with some semi-decent people that like to go off the rails a little bit and have fun while they're doing it, come check us out at AstroWorldWeb.com. And you can check out the schedule, and you can sign up for all the free giveaways that we do. We just gave away an Eagle 4 Pro, an Optilong filter kit, Charles Brackenstein's books, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So come to AstroWorldWeb.com, hang out with us, have a good time, and as always, remember to keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Where did my color go? Got your head in the sand. You can't be in control, using a powerful hand. I wanna be you, I wanna see you. Don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. You're gonna push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, hot little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue, yeah. All right. Cat learns to ring a bell. Rat gets free from the maze. We can be taught to love. We've got to learn a new way. I wanna see you, I wanna be you. Don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. You're gonna push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, that little color is black and white and blue. Black and white and blue. Yeah. I wanna be, I wanna see, don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. Push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, hot little color is black and white and blue. Yeah, black and white and blue. You're going black and white on the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, hot little on my telescope now. Damn, what's wrong with this thing?
Another lost Lone Ranger. Can I break this spell? One thing right, do I make two things wrong? If I want to stand my line, do I will always take the fall? If I just do them, I can hear from the right. I sleep all day long, and then I'm breathing through the night.
Hey,
Hola.
everybody. What's going on, everybody? And let me see if I can find where the new button is. There we go. Beautiful. How's it going, everybody? It's another Wednesday night here, and I hope everybody liked the graphic because I kind of did that kind of on the. Some people may get it, some people might not. I don't know, but if you take a look at the graphic, and I'll show it a little bit. Let me see if I can show this because I'm actually kind of proud that I actually did this, even though it looks kind of. It doesn't look great, but it looks okay. But let me put this over here. Oh man,
A little bit of a little bit of Shakespeare.
A little bit of Shakespeare, right? I like my Shakespeare.
Hey, Matt, how's it going?
And
Tom, Norm,
Newman. I got some good news for Newman.
Newman.
I got some good news for Newman. I'll tell you that. But here you go. Here's the graphic, right? So people may or may not know this. I mean, I know I might be dating myself here. So that is Sir Laurence Olivier playing his famous role of Hamlet. He did Hamlet for many, many years, not only on TV screen, but on Broadway. And what's behind the OAG is actually a skull, and that's when the famous "Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well" speech, and so I just decided to put the OAG in there, and looks like he's saying something to the OAG and saying, "Alas, poor OAG, should I use you or not?" So that's one of the topics today. That's one of the topics today that we're going to be talking about. And I'll move it back to quick play. There we go. And
we'll talk a little bit also about targets.
Targets is good. We could do targets.
We'll talk a little bit about some targets.
And then we'll talk about this mother effer right here.
Yeah. Yes, you made a discovery. You made a discovery on that
one. I wasn't going to say it. Why are you telling me? Really, dude? Really? Go sell another FLT 91. Go sell another one. Shut the hell up.
Oh,
Shut up, Eric. Shut up, Eric.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
So I was having a problem with focus with the OAG, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on. What's happening with this thing? And and I sit there and I take it out, and I'm like, well, I got to refocus it anyway. So let me go take it because this is in focus as far as the Schmidt is concerned. So I take it out, and I'm like, oh yeah, see, I got the Xena. Look at this chip, and I'm like, where's the nose piece? It's missing. Why is the board showing? Why? And it turns out that when I took off the front piece, I thought it was just taking off the glass film, and I took off everything apparently. And so now I got to put it back on and refocus. So there you go. So So that's one of the problems that I had. And let's see, we got some guests we got to talk about. I got some good news for Newman. Newman, I just want you to know, finally it came. It came. Your coffee mug is here, sir. I have your coffee mug. So there you go. I have your coffee mug. So that's going to be coming with your shirt. I didn't forget your shirt. So so that's going to be coming by as well. Looks like we got some good stuff going on over the next couple weeks. Let's go over that really quick. If it, wow, this may not work. So, well, just so everybody knows, if we have any glitches tonight, I redid the entire recording platform of this. So if we have any glitches tonight, other than normal glitches that we normally have, that's why. So I'm choking with this too. So let me push this back here. There we go. All right, let me see if this may or may not work. And it looks like it's online. So let's see. Ah, it does work. There we go. Okay, cool. So we do have sponsors, and we're getting ready for NEEF, everybody. NEEF is 5 weeks. Oh my God, it's 5 weeks away. No, it's not. 7 weeks. 7 weeks away. And it's going to be incredible. I'm thinking about getting T-shirts and stuff like that. And, we're going to have we're going to have a toga party at NEEF. I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. But Red Giant Level, Prima Luce Lab, Optolong, thank you so much for being sponsors. We have Masters of Pix Insight, and if you don't have any, if you're not signed up for any of the giveaways, go to astroweb.com and sign up for the giveaways, because we got a lot of free stuff. Masters of Pix Insight classes, IP for AP subscriptions, gift certificates to AstroWorld telescopes, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So go check it out. We have our own Astro shop. I know a lot of people you know this, and if you're new, you don't. But we have our own Astro shop where you can buy pretty much anything you want to buy at the Supergiant. That's our store, and there's a phone number and the website and the email. If you missed it, on the 14th, 2 weeks ago, we had Greg Krinklaw from Sky Tools. If you're interested with anything in Sky Tools, definitely watch the show. He goes over a nice overview on what's going on with Sky Tools, and he's going to be coming after NEEF to give us a rundown on a hands-on type of thing on how to use it. So last week we had a great show with Bob Denny talking about ASCOM Alpaca and all the stuff that's been happening over the past year and a half since the last time he was on the show. And ASCOM Alpaca is finally making waves. So you might want to get on board if you have a Wi-Fi enabled product, or get on the remote server and make your own ASCOM Alpaca driver, which is possible now. So definitely take a look at that. Our next guest is a little bit less than 2 weeks away. It's on a Saturday at 2 p.m. We got Guido from Guido's Astro Forum coming on. Another one of the wonderful YouTubers out there that help all of us out. And he's a funny guy. He's a great guy. And he's going to be talking to us a little bit about these smart telescopes and what's going on and what he's been testing over the past couple of weeks. March 13th, the following Wednesday, we got George Helios, the writer and creator of Hocus Focus on Nina. So I'm looking to have a good time with him and learning a little bit more on how to use Hocus Focus the right way, as opposed to what we think is the right way, because there is a difference. March 20th, we have Alan Friedman coming on. He's going to be, the eclipse is coming up. Eclipse is what, 2 months away, 2 months and 1 week or so.
Yes, less than that. I mean, it's on the 8th of April.
Oh, so that's 5 weeks away. 5 weeks away. 5 weeks away. I'm sorry. Well, I see February. I'm sorry. I still see February on my calendar. And so 5 weeks away and counting. You're crazy. It's a 31, 39, 40 days. 40 days away. There you go. So, and then, of course, go check us out on all our other media platforms, Discord, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. And if you're so inclined, and you are a follower of AstroWorld TV, please follow our other platforms for AstroWorld telescopes as well, where you'll be getting heads up on product sales, new products that comes out, and all that kind of stuff. And that is on AstroWorld Telescopes on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So beautiful. There we go. And we got, see, there's Sean, right? Sean, I say, Sean, you want to come over and talk about, off-axis guiding? He's like, nah, man, I'm a refractor dude. I don't use off-axis guiders. So I was like, all right, no problem. But so yeah, so let's talk a little bit about off-axis guiding with a longer Schmidt-Cassegrains, CDKs, that kind of stuff. 2,500 or more focal length, that kind of stuff. So, Eric, I know you have a lot more experience with the off-axis guider than I do, by far.
You think so?
Well, more. Let me say more recent exposure to it.
Okay.
Because I haven't used an off-axis guider since I owned my 8-inch 12 years ago.
Okay.
So way before the age of CMOS cameras. so that being said, off-axis guiders are another way where you could actually guide your telescope when you get up to, 1,500 or more millimeters in focal length. Would you agree with that, Eric? Somewhere about that?
Yeah, I actually, if you recall, remember when I had my doublet refractor, the
Yep.
126, the Zenithstar 126? That one had a focal length of around 900 and maybe 950, maybe a little bit less in focal length, and I actually used an OAG with that, and got very good success with that. So for me, it would probably anything I would consider an off-axis guide to do off-axis guiding. If you're approaching that 1,000 millimeter, yeah, maybe that 1,000, starting there. Anything, because like I said, with that particular telescope, I was around 950, 940, something like that, and it worked fine. And to be honest, and on the real, the FLT91, I use an OAG with that at 500 and at 400.
Okay.
It's just, for me, it makes things a bit. It makes it maybe a bit easier. I know that may sound crazy, because you think with a small refractor, having a guide scope, a small mini guide scope, work out just fine. But I don't know. But for me, I think I see a bit more of an improvement on my guiding.
Oh, you should, absolutely.
Even at 500 or 430 millimeters, I still see a much better improvement. Not bigger, but much better improvement. Even if it's a slight improvement, because you're utilizing the same focal length as your imaging, as your imaging camera. Everything is all the same. So, well, actually, the imaging scope, it's
no, I got you.
But you get what I'm saying. Instead of using a guide scope, instead of using like a 200 millimeter,
you're working at the same rate as your imaging.
Yes, thank you. I mean,
no, that's fine. Yeah, so I'm good with the theory behind. I know the theory behind it.
You know where I'm going.
You know the practicality behind it. So that kind of makes us really, really, we mesh well in this conversation. So
exactly.
So that being said, and I want to talk about this a little bit, and it has to do with guiding and pixel size.
Okay.
And I was doing some reading about pixel size as opposed to guiding. And from what I'm reading is, now we're not talking about sensor size, we're talking about pixel size. So you could have a large sensor with large pixels, and that could work against you with guiding, because think about it for a second. What guiding does essentially is watches a star and sees how many pixels it moves. So if your guiding camera has larger pixels, it's going to take more movement of that star to be picked up on by your guiding program, whether that be MetaGuide, PhD2, whatever. It doesn't matter. So if you got larger pixels, that star literally has to move further before it makes a correction. If you have smaller pixels, it travels more pixels, so it's going to make that correction sooner because it went over the borderline, let's say, of the pixels. So that's what that's my understanding of off-axis guiding and kind of how it works a little bit.
Would it also, now I don't know, would it also depend on the type of OAG you're using, especially when it comes to maybe perhaps the prism size?
Well, prism size is going to really you want to match your prism size up to your sensor size. You don't want to have like a 429 with a 6mm prism. You're not going to see anything. You'll have this nice big sensor and you'll get like nothing. So you're right. You do want to match up that prism size to your chip size. So like a nice 429 would be good with a nice 12mm or 13mm Sagitta, off-axis guider. Nice big. Now, what the prism pickoff does, that doesn't affect your guiding per se. However, it does affect the amount of guide stars you're going to get. Does that make sense? So at least that's my understanding. So the pixel size stays the same no matter what prism you have. So whether that star moves 1, 2, or 3 pixels, if it sees the star, it doesn't matter about the prism. Now, the prism will give you a bigger field of view to illuminate the chip, so you have more, so you can make a better use of the multi-star guiding.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. And that's why with me, I use on my FLT91 refractor, I use the ZWO OAGL, the large off-axis guider, which has the 12mm prism with the 174mm, the ASI 174 mini.
Yep.
Okay, because it has larger pixels, the prism is larger, and I also use that guide scope on the edge with the Celestron OAG because again, it's a larger. That OAG has a larger prism, just like the OAGL. So so that 174 mini guide scope with its large pixels, it complements it.
Yeah. I mean, take a look at the size.
I can see more
for a guy, and I know you can see a lot more of this camera than what you're supposed to see. But
I can.
Look at the size of this chip. This is a 429. This is a Player One Xena camera. Look at the size of that chip. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's big. And I was only getting one guide star. Well, if you're missing the nose piece, you might not be in focus. So let's worry about that.
You need that AV.
So I will put that back in. And it looks like I might be clear tomorrow night. So but I was able to get some good imaging with this guy with the 7 so the 0.7 focal reducer. I got my spacing right. I got all my lovely precise parts adapters that cost I swear the precise parts adapters on here probably cost more than or just as much as the Monster Moag and the filter wheel. so because you needed a lot. You needed 40, and you got to go to 146 millimeters, right?
Yeah.
So you got 17 and a half, 20, 37 and a half, 32. So, and then I got a 1 millimeter spacer. That's an adapter that goes to M54 to this, right?
Okay. Yep.
So you got 37 and a half, 38 and a half, and then 32. So now you got 38. So you got about 70, right?
Yep, around there.
Around
Yeah, about
70. So now you got 70. He already had one adapter already. So I had to figure out what he needed here. So I got another adapter. It's not even an adapter. It's just an extension for this guy.
Yeah.
And that's it. But it's a lot of spacers. A lot of spacers.
And you're using that with the 11-inch, right?
That's the 11-inch. Yep.
Right. So yeah, Dennis, absolutely. Larger prism in center equals lots of guide stars. And that's, for the most part, that's what I'm using, but what I'm doing here. And I'm still bouncing around that idea of grabbing the 432 that you had, that you were showing it? The one that has the 9 micron pixel size. Is that the 432 sensor?
I believe so.
It's like the 432 mm.
432. I'm trying to remember exactly,
because I know it's supposed to be really good for solar.
The 432 has a 9. Yeah.
So I've got some thoughts on that, but right now using this 174, it's great.
I have a 178 on mine. I'm sorry, this is not a 460. This is a 249, the Xena. I apologize. That's 249 at 5.86 micron.
Yeah. Okay, Mark. Yeah. So you have the 432 that's what you're using with your CDK. So you're at a really, you're at a good, focal length there. You got a nice long focal length. So I'm sure that's working out really, really well for you.
Yep.
I mean, yours focal length is probably double of, I can't recall. I think you have I don't know. I think these Mark has a 24.
I think.
Yeah, but you have a CDK
14.
You have the 14. For some reason, I thought it was larger.
It's a 14. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm at 1400, 1430 focal length with the reducer. So, I mean, it's still this works great for me. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, guiding is really important, whether you use any sort of off-axis guider or your guide camera, depending on what you're doing. I've been using guide cameras forever, even on my 8-inch Schmidt. And
now, what about flat? Now, with their 8-inch Schmidt, did you have? And that's a smaller Schmidt, but did you have any concerns with flexure?
No, because you know what? I literally had on 8-inch. On top of that, I had a Los Monte dovetail, and I even had an 80 millimeter. I had the Orion ED80 on top, not the short tube 80, the big one.
Yeah, the short one.
The big one. The big one.
Yeah,
the $1,000. Well, at the time it was $1,000, and then I bought it for $999, and then about a month later they came out with the ED100 for $1,000 and dropped the price of the 80 to like $699. I was so pissed, but but what are you gonna do? It's like computers. That's what happens. But and you know what? I didn't see any flexure. I could have been. I was also young in the hobby as well. So, but I didn't see anything that jumped out at me and said, "Oh my God, that's not good." But as long as you have the stability along the top, it's a Schmidt. The Schmidt is compact. The 8-inch Schmidt is compact. I mean, it is. It's really hard to get flexure on that. I'd be worried more about mirror flop and stuff like that than before. Now, once you get to the longer Schmidts and if you're using off-axis guiders anyway, even with an 8, you're probably considering an off-axis guider.
Right. Now, you need to make sure, and you know this, and I'm sure most of our viewers know this who are experienced with using off-axis guiders. But if you are starting out with an off-axis guider, one of the things you'll need to make sure of is your back focus. And just to know, your back focus should match what your imaging camera's back focus is. So if your imaging camera, if you have that back focus at 55 millimeters, your guide camera's back focus with your off-axis guider needs to be 55 millimeters. They should basically match, correct?
Yes. So what I did with this, and it's a little screwed up now, so it may look a little bit. What I did with this, right, is I took a digital caliper
Mm-hmm.
and I guesstimated to where the prism was. I can't see what I'm doing here. Hold on, let me move this. Where the prism kind of drops, which is about halfway in the OAG, so somewhere in here. And then I figured to the faceplate of the camera and added 17.5 millimeters. So
Right.
so that's what I did. So it turned out to be something like what was it, 20 16. It was like 50 millimeters to the chip here. So all I
Okay.
did was guesstimate to where the chip was here. So let's say the chip drops to about here, let's say,
Right.
if it's at
Okay.
this height. So from here to where the prism
Prism.
is, that should be the same 50 millimeters. And then at least you could use that to start tweaking
Yes.
and seeing where you're at, But the first thing, to your point, Eric, the first thing that you want to do is make sure that your main imaging camera is in focus first.
Yes. Yes.
Because if you focus your guide camera in an OAG and then your main camera is out of focus, now what happens when you change the focus? Well, you're lengthening or shortening your light image, right? So now you're out of focus on both again. So you want to make sure that is definitely done first. And you know what? In all fairness, if you know that your camera is in focus because of prior imaging or whatever, you could kind of do a sharp cap during the day thing on a telephone pole far away to get a coarse focus on both cameras.
Now, Dave does bring up a point here, and this is when you're talking about filters, and if you're using a mono camera and you're utilizing filters, there can lie a problem because of the thickness and using filters, where if you've got say you're using your luminance filter and you've got your camera in focus, and now you've got your guide camera in focus on the OAG. Now what happens when you switch a filter, say to blue, or you're doing narrowband or anything like that? Now you're doing that autofocus for that particular filter, but your focus on your guide camera is going to be off. It is what it is. It's going to be slightly off, isn't it? So shouldn't you? It should.
It shouldn't.
Why not?
Because your off-axis guide chip and your main chip should be equidistant from each other and the right path.
Yes, but aren't you still?
So if you're moving this way or this way, you're moving them both. That's the whole point. At least that's my understanding. I could be wrong. Somebody shoot out with me.
Yeah, I mean, I always, because whenever I autofocus, I am autofocusing in narrowband. My guide stars are slightly out of focus, in PhD. And so, and I thought, I don't know, when we had a conversation about OAGs in the past, it was recommended that you want your guide camera slightly out of focus.
Yes, that's true. At least That's
and
what
I
I
thought
do.
that was I thought that was to compensate also for the switch.
It could
your
be.
different
I mean,
filters.
that would make sense to
You
me.
use
But
your
I
different
mean,
filters.
the reason why I have and I don't use off-axis guiders, so this is all
Mhm.
new. This is new horizons for me, for the most part. But my always off, using a guide scope, I always made it out of focus anyway, and this is the reason why. I made it out of focus because it made the centroid of the star brighter,
Right.
and it
Okay.
made the outskirts of the star fuzzy or dimmer. And so what PhD does is it looks at the brightest centroid and guides on that. So if the brightest centroid is smaller and brighter, then it's going to see the motion of that centroid a lot quicker than it would if everything was the same brightness. And that's at least my method behind my madness with guide cameras and guide scopes. Now
Sure. Sure.
with off-axis guiders, obviously, and somebody brought up a point already that's saying that the OAG is in front of your filters, and that's true. It's
It
got
is.
to be.
Yes.
You don't want filtered light
You
going
don't
to
want
your, or God forbid you're putting an H alpha filter in front of your, or an S2 filter in front of your off-axis guide. Forget about it. You're in a random part of the sky. You're already hard luck trying to find a guide star. Now you're making it even worse. So
unless you're using one of the newer duos, and supposedly that's not causing a problem.
I'm gonna withhold judgment on that because
Sure.
and I've said this from day one. Show me it guiding with 3 nanometer filters. Show it to me. Just tell me if it works or not. If it works, great, wonderful. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, because isn't a duo coming out for the mono?
Yeah, it's coming. I think it's out already.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, I think it's out already. The
So it's okay.
2600
I didn't know if it was. I didn't know if it was out. I didn't know if it was out or not.
Yeah, I'm
But I
pretty
heard
sure
it was.
it's out.
Yeah, and I just don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
Listen,
I'm in the same camp as you. I
not for
just
nothing. Not for nothing.
don't.
S Big tried this a long time ago, like 20 years ago. Yeah, and granted, the technology has changed, obviously. Things have changed, but filters have also changed to be tighter bandpass, like you wouldn't believe. You couldn't even
Yes.
imagine getting a 3 nanometer bandpass filter 20 years ago. It would cost you thousands for one
Mhm.
filter. Not that we
For
don't do
one
that now
filter.
with thank you, Chroma. But we spend all this money, but it's thousands of dollars for filters, and it's crazy. But you know what? So the filters have gotten better because they've been getting narrower, right? The
Mhm.
chips have been getting more sensitive, so that combats the tightness of the bandpass, right? So it's all I just want to see somebody do it with the filter in real time. I want to see it. I
Yeah.
know that our buddy Simon Lewis from AstroWorks
Mhm.
has kind of, been promoting the 585 from ZWO recently, which I don't know why it took them 2 years to come out with it because Player One's had it for quite a long time. And the ZWO has come out with the first dual chip camera in since SBig did it. I think. I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
without spending thousands of dollars like the Moravians and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not talking. I'm talking about the normal consumer pricing cameras.
Right. Right.
That at least in my pay grade, the normal consumer. I mean, you talk to like Steve Jobs. I mean, they're paid. Tough talking to him. He's dead. But I mean, you know what I'm saying. Price is relative, right? It's relative on
Right.
your pocketbook, but it's different. The people that we talk to normally are the middle class-ish, maybe upper middle class-ish people that, and if there's some upper class, excuse me, or lower. I'm not trying to discriminate here, but that's the normal kind of consumer that we usually have conversations with. And without going outside of that into like the $8 to $10 to $12,000 camera, nobody has come out with an affordable dual a self-guiding camera for the most part.
Yes.
Until they did it with the 2600 Duo color.
Yeah, and now the mono's here.
And now the mono's here.
So I mean, Dave just mentioned, he made a comment, you have to have a bright star for it to work with a 2 to 3 second exposure. The Duo. So
how are you gonna do that in like Canis Venetici where there's like nothing?
Yeah, that's gonna be my next. That's gonna be my next question. Is, what if you are imaging something, that is somewhat faint, and the constellation or the stars in that around that target are also faint? I mean, I just don't know. I'm not 100% sold on it.
Nope. I'm sold on the color. The color I'm fine with. I'm okay with that. They've proven it. They've done it with the L Extreme. It's a proven technology at this point, and I'm okay with that. But this duo mono thing, I don't know. I'm gonna have to see. What are you looking at? Oh, so yeah. So ASCOM OAGs are out there. There is the Pegasus one. There's the Obtech Sagitta as well. There are one or two other ones that are automated focusing for OAGs, but I gotta chime in on what Dennis said, and he's been echoing what I've been saying and what you've been saying all night regarding you don't really need a tight focus on your auto guy. However, I'll preface this a little bit. When you are in those crappy, unpopulated kind of star fields, right? You may need a tight focus at longer focal lengths because those guide stars may be just so dim that they're out of focus. So that's another thing to think about a little bit.
You may also need to bend that guide camera in order to pick up enough of the pixels so you can put that centroid together, so you can get something to actually guide off of, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I mean, there's a lot of conversations going back and forth between focus, out of focus, not in I've been running out of focus for I don't know how many years. I can't even tell you. And I've been guiding on multiple mounts, going all the way back to my LX200 mount, to my Atlas, to my EQ6R, to my Pegasus, to my EQ8R. I've always been semi out of focus, and I've always had 0.5-ish guiding results. So I mean, I guess you got to do. The bottom line is you got to do what works for you. If it works for you, don't change. Don't change because every single rig is different. Every camera is different. Every focus routine it's all different. So do what works for you. And oh geez. Okay. Oh, look at that. Nice.
Frank M81 M82 saying the author of PhD 2 said you should have the best focus possible for the best guiding. There's a comment there. George was chatting with Dennis, says it's been shown that sharper focus on an OAG does improve guiding. And when we just talked about bending here, Mark was saying, always been with 99% of the guide cameras. My 432 is the only one I don't bend due to the 9 micron size, pixels.
Right.
So, yeah. But again, to your point, we all You know, every rig is different. We're all different on our approaches on when it comes to op-axis guiding, focusing. If you're going to do a tight focus, if you're going to do a slight off focus, you know, and mainly, you know, and just have the nice brighter centroid that you were mentioning, and utilizing that. So it really depends on what you can find that best works for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's what we always talk about this. It's that when it comes to this hobby, it's you don't always have to listen to us. I mean, we'll guide and we'll share experiences just like our viewer membership shares experiences, and we'll help as much as we can for, you know, people just getting into this part of astrophotography or astrophotography in general. But ultimately, you will, as you improve, you'll find your way in what works best for you and with what equipment you have.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Because, you know, without trial and error, you're never going to get everything perfect. And you know, even when you get things perfect, things could fall right out from under you. So you know,
Mark, I am so with you on that one. That would be fantastic if they have a 432 in a mini guide scope with a 432 sensor. That would be great.
well, you could always.
I would be in line for that.
Let's see the.
You know, just like I'm pretty sure you would be, but that would be one that I would love to have.
9-micron mini. Yeah, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, this is not bad. This is close. As far as sensor size is concerned, it's about half of the micron pixel size. It's at 5 and change. But this Xena, I mean, I love it. I think it's going to be great. So
I think one of the things, because everybody's sharing, you know, not everybody, but we have people sharing, you know, pretty much their total RMS.
Yep.
When they're guiding. I think for me, I need to adjust my RA. I think I need to go a little bit more camera side heavy. Because even though I have this, you know, SIM60, and it's, you know, supposed to be center balance and all this, I guess with the experiences I had with my SIM60 and some of the things that have happened, you know, even though I've sent it off and gotten it repaired, this, that, and the other, you know, it's still, when it comes to the RA, it's still high, you know. I'm getting higher numbers. So I think I'm probably going to go a little camera side heavy on the RA when I'm doing my balance, and see if that helps a little bit. Maybe with the worm gear and everything, and see if I can get some better numbers on my guiding. Because I've always been, you know, balancing it, you know, center balancing it, and it's just right there. I'm not doing it, you know, that camera heavy side, you know, when you're balancing an RA for a lot of the mounts, you know, you will do a slight camera heavy side or scope heavy on your RA. I haven't done that, but with the SIM60 now, who knows? I think I may need to go ahead and just get it a little, you know, scope side heavy.
So let's. I was just thinking, somebody was saying something in that. So,
I get around 99. John was asking, what numbers do I get? I'm usually getting 1 arc second. I'm usually getting at a 1
arc second.
Yeah, no, not a point. It didn't, you know, I have seen it where it gets down to 0.6, but then it'll climb up to 1, sometimes 1.2.
Okay.
And then it'll just down to, you know, like 8.8. Then it'll climb back up to, you know, like 1 or 1.3, you know, so it fluctuates. The stars are still round. It's not that. It's just, I'm thinking maybe if I give it a little bit of extra, weight on the scope side when I'm balancing the R8. Maybe it'll help.
Yeah, Sean's flouting his 0.22 with the M15. So,
dude, you got a M15. You got the freaking harmonic.
I could take my calf and put it on top. That's the weight. That's how much weight it could hold.
We're talking. We're talking potatoes. You're talking. Okay, I've got Lay's with ketchup. Ketchup flavored Lay's. And
no ketchup flavored Lay's. No, stop it.
You've got nacho cheese or Cool Ranch Doritos.
No,
okay, they're not the same thing.
Spicy nacho.
Not the same thing.
Spicy nacho, no Cool Ranch. Spicy nacho, or if you can find them,
I know.
Roulette.
Just making me feel bad.
I know he is.
Oh,
we love you, Sean. We love you, man.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, I love you, bro. It's all good.
But hey, listen, I'm getting 0.6 with my EQ8 with 40 pounds on it. I'm getting.
But how do you balance?
I balance West heavy, so
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, you balance West heavy.
I'm sorry, East heavy. East heavy.
I was gonna say
East heavy. East heavy. Sorry, the other way.
Yeah. So that's what I need to do. So that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to give it a little bit.
It's different with the center balance, so I don't know. It's a little different.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
You got to do a trial and error thing,
That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little bit of trial and error.
Low key, goddess of chaos.
What? She's leaving.
Chaos is now leaving us. She didn't. She did not create much chaos tonight, I have to say.
Charity's ditching us again. What the heck?
So Newman, I don't know if you saw. If you're there, I think he's still there. I want to show him again because I'm very proud about how these came out. So I got these finally. These are the coffee mugs. Now, the first set didn't. The reason why it's taking so long, the first set didn't come out the way I wanted to. So these are going to be sold as I don't know, blems, I guess you call them, because the image was here instead of here and here, like it's supposed to be. You're supposed to drink it and you're supposed to see it. Right?
Yeah, that's what
I don't want to look this way to kind of.
Like, what are you? What is it?
So if anyone wants a blem coffee cup, let me know. But I got two of them.
You can send one to me.
I got 3 of these too, so
you can send one to me. You can send me one of the blems.
One of them's going to Norm, so I owe Norm a shirt and a coffee cup from Astropalooza in December. There's Larry. How you doing, Larry? The cup needs an off-axis guider. Yeah, it does. How's it going? There you go. I send it with my eagle. Yeah, there you go. Hey, Charity, come on, stop it. We're all here to have fun. That's what we're here for.
Exactly. Oh,
yeah. Got the wine tumbler. Yep, I got a wine tumbler over there. So awesome, Larry. Yeah, let me know what you think. But yeah. So off-axis guiding is a thing now for me, I guess, and I think I may actually convert eventually to my because my AP refractor. I use a guide scope. I use the Evo guide. But what I'm thinking about doing, so I can get 2 things at the same time, I'm going to get the flattener for the for the ED80, the Skywatcher, the Evo guide. Get the flattener, put a color cam on there, pop that on there, and get some wide field color shots, Run a second instance of Nina and just let it, it's already going to be guiding with the other cam. You know what I mean? So I could do double duty.
Yeah. Give it a shot. See how it goes.
Now one thing I do want to bring up though, because, one of the things when I did this setup, right? One of the things when I did this setup and one of the troubles that I had coming against this is mating a different brand off-axis guider to a different brand, most likely filter wheel or camera. So this here is an Astrodon Monster Moag with a 12 millimeter prism here.
The Monster
The
OAG.
monster, not the
Or
ultra.
or the mother of OAGs, whatever you want to call it.
No, Monster OAG, MOAG. There you go. So there you go. That the Moab, but so you got ZWO, Astrodon. Now, I've been reading a lot of stuff about off-axis guiders today, and I gotta say, whether you are a ZWO user, a QHY user, a Player One user, it doesn't matter. Going through this process with different brands, when you're dealing with image trains, I would probably tell you to go and get the same brand that kind of fits together correctly. So if you're getting a Player One cam, you're probably getting a Player One filter wheel, right?
But what if you've already got a ZWO filter wheel and you want to try a Player One cam?
Good luck. Go to Precise Parts, get the right adapter and all that kind of stuff. Don't forget to add in the millimeters to your back focus now. So I mean, these things are made to be put together. Like, don't get me wrong, the focuser, get a different focuser. The flattener, get a different flattener. All this kind of stuff. But if you're doing off-axis guiding filter wheel camera, I might be, if you're just getting into it and don't have any of this stuff before, I might recommend telling you to just get all of one or the other just for that stuff, just to make it easier. It's kind of like, Eric, you know how it is. What happens when you try to add an ADM dovetail to a Prima Luce ring? Well, I could tell you what happens. You're screwed because all the holes don't match up.
They don't match up.
And
I don't know how many times we go through this.
You got to get spacers or a machinist or something. And I might be strongly suggestive about doing that if you don't have everything already. If you are just in the shop, you want to get a imaging rig, get the same model, camera, filter wheel, OAG.
Right.
Just get the same. Because you know what? It's not like that, oh, wow, ZWO doesn't have a 12 millimeter prism. They do. Player One's got a 12 millimeter prism.
Yeah.
QHY's got a 12 millimeter prism. Everybody's got 12 millimeter. Everyone's saying get a bigger prism, right? Because it picks up more guide stars. Absolutely.
You got them now.
Right? So it's not like I need to get an Optech Sagitta because it's got a bigger prism and OAGs in ZWO aren't made with that size. That's not true anymore. So I just think that's something that, you kind of think about. Now, it's nothing to say that you can't do this. But you got to know your math. You got to know what, you got to understand what it takes to make things work. And if it's 146 millimeters, right, from here to here, right, you have to be millimeter specific on what's going on here. So just be aware of that.
Oh, Charity. Good luck, girl. You got it. You go for it. I mean, hey, I know it's not easy, but do what you got to do. You got to sweat them out. You sweat out those withdrawals, but you'll feel a lot better for it in the end. You will, trust me.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, I won't say really trust me because I'm not a smoker. I was, but I was more social and I was able to cut, stop cold turkey. I had no problem. But I never, yeah. I cut this quick.
No, I did the patch. I did the patch.
You wouldn't call me a real smoker. I wasn't a real smoker.
Oh, I was a pack a day smoker, easy.
Yeah.
You know,
I was a pack like every 4 days.
Oh, that's that. You know,
Yeah,
what was it?
was
Was it what's the name from the Fisher King? What was it, Robin Williams? Or was it?
Yeah,
Or was it that? Was it the Fisher King or was it Good Will Hunting? I don't remember which movie it was, but it was. Are you a no? It was Good Will Hunting. Are you a smoker? I don't know. See, that's the problem. Either you are or you aren't. Be what you are, and you know, be a smoker or not a smoker. So that's what it is. But you know what? I was a bad smoker. I quit in '99, so I quit a long time ago. So my lungs have. I could breathe. I'll probably die of lung cancer somewhere along the way. But that's what it is. But just smoking is just a nasty, nasty habit. And if you smoke,
it's
quit.
It's I don't want to I don't want to go too much off of a tangent. But
Yep.
For me, it's just too much.
Oh my God! How much is a pack of
too
cigarettes?
Too much for me to say, okay, I'm doing this, and you know what the end result is most likely going to be.
But how much is a pack of cigarettes by you?
Like $8.
$8. I wish.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It's like
I know
$13.
where you are. I know where you are. It's got to be even crazier.
$13 a pack for Marlboro.
Yeah.
It's like $150 a carton.
Midwest.
$150 a carton. I don't know. My brother's a big smoker, and I yell at him all the time. I said, "Dude, you and your wife smoke all the time." I'm like, "How do you afford it? I don't understand."
Good luck, Charity. Nonetheless.
Yeah, no, you could do it, girl. You got all of AstroWorld behind you. Go for it.
Absolutely, go for it.
Yeah. It's a good way to start. Listen, the key to, if you're a drinker, the key to stopping smoking cold turkey is you have to stop drinking too, for a little bit. You have to stop drinking because you know what? I did both for many, many years, and let me tell you, every time I went to a bar, I started smoking again. Because you were allowed to smoke in bars back then. You can't do it anymore. But you smoking, and it's not a good thing. But every time I had a beer, I always wanted a cigarette. But if you quit both for like a couple of months, you could start drinking again. Go ahead.
Let's go into real quick. Let's move. I want to talk a little bit about the Image of the Week contest.
Oh, and voting,
because we do have some entries.
Oh my God, we have entries.
We have entries this week. We do have some entries this week.
It's not a giveaway week.
Yeah, no, it's not a giveaway week. So I'll share my screen here and we'll take a quick look here. We'll hide that there. Okay, so again, congrats to Jason, our solo entrant for last week.
and not for nothing, it wasn't a giveaway.
This is really a great image nonetheless. Yep. I mean, you're looking here, there's Hubble's variable.
Yep.
I mean, you got the cone here. Yep. You've got the Christmas tree. I mean, you got the fox fur. I mean,
you got them both.
Yeah. This is still fantastic.
Yep.
So this week our entries are this one is a collaboration of Messier 81.
Dave and Tom. Oh man.
Yeah, Dave and Tom.
Yes. So if Dave wins, is that a real win?
It's a 50-50. It's a split. It's a 50-50.
I love you, Dave. Yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm just busting your chops because you're a capital fan. So I got it.
But really nice image here.
Super nice.
Very
and
nice.
look at the blue stuff they got at the bottom of that. I love that.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's great. Now we have a comet. This one was done by Dr. Meyer, by Greg Meyer. It's Comet 62P.
Nice.
So very nice. I gotta break my Ross out and maybe at some point get a, when Tyler gave it back to me, but I haven't used it, and gosh, it's just been sitting in the box. I gotta break that sucker out and do some comet hunting.
What's in the box?
Exactly. All right, we have
look at those
Dragon's
tadpoles.
Yeah, by Josh. And last but certainly not least, we've got a solar image.
Wow.
By Kevin. And this he was using, at least he was using his Lunt. Yeah, LS35. And he used, this is kind of cool because this helps me so much, at least reading about this. Even though I understand it's better to use a camera with higher frame rates, USB 3, but he captured this with his Mini, which is a USB 2, and you're having a much slower,
that is a cool solar shot. He's got the new sunspot.
That is a very cool solar shot.
The new sunspot formation right there in the middle.
Yeah. So great. So all of these are now up for consideration for the image of the week for this upcoming Friday. And as of right now, I'll refresh this here really quick. It was at 26 votes right now.
Yeah, go vote. I'm going to go vote right now because I haven't voted
yet. I have already voted. I'm usually one of the first. I'm usually like the first one that's votes.
Well, you better be. You start the damn thing.
Exactly. So usually when they say one vote so far, yeah, that's Eric that's already voted.
But, someone else votes so no one knows who I voted for.
But yeah, so get out there, get onto the website, astroworldweb.com/IOTW, and vote for this week's image of the week. Let's see who's going to take the first image of the week of March 2024.
There you go.
And I will go ahead, probably within the next week, maybe next week, I will get the February entrant for the February image of the month down here. Because right now we have Tom's Embryo Nebula, NGC 1333. I think it's called the Embryo Nebula.
Yep, it's the Embryo.
But still, awesome shot here, Tom. But yeah, I'm thinking next week I will get the February entrant out here, so we can see who's going to take it for February. Who's going to take the image of the month of February?
Nice.
So, yeah. All right. So
see if my buttons work. Do my buttons work? Let's see. Page 3. Two up and live. And there we go. Yeah.
Dave's saying that the 174 Mini is USB-C, which he thinks is equal to USB 3.
I think he's right.
He may be right. I don't know.
Right.
I gotta check. He may be. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, you were first this time. Sometimes like, oh yeah, I need to go do this.
Yep.
And sometimes I'm like, yep, I'm first one.
So let me see. So somebody asked when we're starting early on Wednesday. Let's get
when are we starting that?
Let's get a solid date on that.
Yeah, we'll put a solid date. It's
let me get
later.
The sponsors up.
It's later in March. It's once we get through all of our guests. Who's our last guest before we do the cutover? Is it Alan?
I think it's Alan on the 20th.
Yeah. So we'll solidify it.
So let me see. I get sponsors.
We'll solidify that. So it's most likely.
Yeah. So we got nothing in first week in March, and then we got George and Alan.
Yeah.
So it looks like
maybe we'll make it official. We'll talk about it offline, but maybe we'll go through the end of March and then say officially April 1 or beginning of April. But we're gonna make that call, and we'll let everyone know.
Yeah, probably looks like April 3rd.
Okay. There you
We'll
go.
start that.
Yeah, there you go. Make it easy.
April
Kick
3rd.
things off. Yeah, the AM5 is an awesome mount there, Dan. That's for sure.
Yep.
Everybody's
absolutely.
had some great success with that mount.
I just sold an AM5 this week too. So somebody out there is going to be a very lucky person with their AM5 once I get it.
Jason, Starlancer Astro saying, I'm thinking of trying my C5 for imaging. And he's never tried it with imaging. I know Queeve, he had a C6. I'm sorry, do you have a C5 or a C6 that he actually, I think it was a C6, basically put a hyperstar on it. You know, yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're right, Jason. Yeah, C6. I think he had but I think Queeve had a C6, and he ended up putting a hyperstar on it. And he's been enjoying that. So
Right.
the AM3 has surpassed every expectation as well.
Yeah, again, if you have something that
you know what they
meets
need
that,
to do? Build an AM7
oh,
or like
Jesus.
an AM9.
So, all right, let's talk about this for a second. How big is the trade-off with these harmonic mounts now? So you already got the AM5 that weighs, I think, 5.5 kilos. So that's about 12 pounds or something like that. 11 to 12 pounds. You got the Pegasus, right? Who weighs about the same, maybe a little bit more, maybe 13 pounds.
A little bit more.
Yeah, maybe 13, 14 pounds. And then how big is too big? Because you got to think about it. You know, the more of a payload, right? No matter the more of the payload, the bigger the gears are going to be, right? Whether you're harmonic or not. So that being said, how big is too big where it becomes to the point where may as well just go back to equatorial? You know? The whole point of harmonic mounts, right, is to be portable, to be honest with you. High torque, high payload, you know, lightweight.
Yeah, but okay. So you're saying these are more intended for you to, because they're lightweight, more intended for you to grab and go and like you take to a star party or easily pack to travel with. I totally get that.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. To say you could put your C11 on a mount that you don't have to lug, a 60-pound mount around to put it on top of, including counterweights.
Yeah. Now, will the AM5? I know the AM5 will take a C11, but will it handle an Edge 11 with all of the fixins?
Well, it only goes up to, I believe, about 44 pounds with the counterweights. So, figure it out. The Pegasus goes 44 without and up to 60 with. So, I mean, my whole point is whether Pegasus or ZWO or Ioptron or whoever's next in the field of harmonic mounts, how big is the trade-off that we're going to accept that it becomes no longer portable that it needs to be? I mean, is the next harmonic drive that does 100-pound counterweight going to match a Paramount, let's say, or a Mach 2? Is it really going to match the accuracy of these mounts? And I have to say no. No, it's not. The Rainbow Astro is not meant to be a permanent mount. In all fairness, I've dealt with Rainbow Astro quite a bit, and I'm kind of disappointed with Rainbow Astro because I don't understand why it doesn't have a lock in the RA. I don't understand that whole thing. It's only got locks in one direction, and it suffers from gravity drag. So That annoys
Yeah, I
me
don't
to
get
spend
that
$8,000 on a mount.
for the amount of money you've invested into that.
$8,000 on a mount.
Yeah,
$8,000 on a mount. I spent $2,900 on my Pegasus, and it got locks. It has locks on both axes. If I shut it down, my scope's not going to fly.
yeah. So when you're talking about how much is too much, or when do you call it? For example, we talk about this offline, and I'm still targeting at some point the HAE-69.
Yep.
And now, hopefully, I think they're done, because within less than a year of it coming out, they brought out 3 different versions. It went from the original to the B to the C now. But that is 20 pounds. Now, is 20 pounds too much to travel? I mean,
No,
you have to make that decision yourself.
I don't
But is
think
that
it
too
is.
much for you to travel with? Because you're getting 69 pounds of payload.
Yep.
Without a counterweight.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that would be, I'm good right there. I'm good. I don't have to go any.
I gotta throw a shout out to my buddy Bill. My buddy Bill Bradley is in the chat. Welcome, Bill. Bill is an awesome astrophotographer. This guy helped me so much. It's incredible. Him and his brother, God bless him, Brian. The two of you guys are tops, man. Let me tell you. I mean, I remember the days of hanging out with the 10-inch mead and all that. Let me tell you, for Cherry Springs, and you guys be up, you guys would be up at 8 a.m. cooking breakfast, and I'd be like, no, man, no, I'm going to bed. What are you doing? But let me tell you, he definitely does he does a lot of good work. And Bill's website, I forgot what his website is. I'll throw his website on there if you want to go check it out, because he does some really, really awesome work. So, Bill, you're tops, man. Thanks for joining.
Now, another subject, now that we've gone on from image of the week and we've plugged that, another one I wanted to talk about, because we talked about a little bit about this last week, is now with Galaxy coming season, coming pretty much upon us, officially March 1st. What targets are people going to be? I'm kind of curious what targets people are going to go after, because now you want to start probably breaking out those longer focal length scopes, and the nebula that we would usually go after, in the summer and in fall and winter. You don't have that availability in the spring, because we're able to see the rest of the cosmos, versus being blocked by the Milky Way, by the arm of the Milky Way. So I myself am going to be going after quite a few. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. But right now I'm actually trying my first, well, I won't say it's my first, but because my first was the owl. So I'm going for my first official planetary nebula. When I went after the Owl Nebula, which is M97, I believe.
Yeah,
97.
Yep.
Yeah. It was actually one of my first images that I caught when I first got into astrophotography. It was that in the whirlpool. So now I'm going after my first planetary nebula, and I am going after using sky tools. It's been helping me out. The Medusa Nebula, Abell-21. I've never shot it. I've never really focused on planetary nebula, but with this long right now, because of just the time of the time period, the time of the month it is, the moon phase and everything. You can't go after galaxies right now. So I wanted to take some advantage of some imaging because I've got a clear sky. So I was able to find what's a good target for me right now. And the two that came up were the Medusa Nebula,
Okay.
which is a planetary nebula, or the Crab Nebula.
Okay.
The Crab Nebula, it is a supernova. That's a supernova remnant. It's
Yes,
not
it
a
is.
planetary. It's a supernova remnant. But according to Sky Tools, when I was looking that up, it is, the date range is best imaged, at least in this area, back in December. But it's still being able to be imaged. Grab some good HA03, S2 if you can. But I'm doing the Medusa with just HA and O3.
Yep.
I'm just gonna go that.
I swear I am going to finish, if it kills me, I'm going to finish my Astro meets D&D collage. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish it.
You're gonna finish it.
Medusa's in there, the owl's in there, the wizard's in there. I won't be able to get the witch's head till next year. So I mean, I won't be able to get that till next year. But I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them all. I'm gonna be done, and I'll be fine.
Speaking of the witch head, there was something that I was looking up. Was it considered, or is it considered a planetary?
No, it's a reflection.
Parts of it?
I believe it's a reflection.
That's what I thought. I thought it was a reflection, but I thought I saw something somewhere that maybe it's a part, or maybe something within
maybe part of it.
The witch head, maybe something within the witch head that's planetary. But yeah, another one I was looking up, Dave. You're working on it right now with the Headphone Nebula.
That's a cool nebula too.
That's a really cool nebula.
Yeah, it's a faint reflection nebula believed to be an ancient supernova remnant.
Okay.
It doesn't mean there isn't part of it that could be a planetary behind it somewhere, but it's it's normally known as a reflection.
Okay. Josh saying the Astro Imaging channel has a really good show on Sunday about rarely shot or unimaged targets that require a lot of data, but could be good targets for short focal length setups. There you go.
Another great
That's
show,
a great
Sunday night show.
That's a great Sunday night show. Absolutely. Yep. So that's one of the things I wanted to bring up is, with this time of year, if you don't have a long focal length telescope, there you go. You may want to check out, the Astro Imaging channel on Sunday. And if you have, the skies to do it, you may be able to put in some work on some of these obscure targets that are out here.
Absolutely.
So,
I'm looking forward because I am so happy that it looks like I'm back in business with imaging. I did a second night of imaging with my telescope. Everybody knows my telephone lines have been the bane of my existence for a while, and it looks like either a combination of or just one or the other. But at least WBPP seems to be now. Through a couple of updates, apparently is now rejecting the spikes that are being incurred by the telephone lines. Yes, I know I could have clone stamped them out, but I'm just way too lazy for that. But that being said, it looks like I'm back in business as far as an imaging is concerned. So another thing we may want to talk about on a future show is how to protect your gear while it's out all night while you are sleeping. So I think that would be a good topic. I think somebody brought that up, and I don't want to take credit for that. I forget who brought that up, but I think it was Nikon Jax actually that said that. Another good topic that if you have any topics for shows, feel free to hit either one of us up on email or on Discord or whatever, and feel free to do that, because we're always looking for good ideas. We can't come up with good ideas all the time. It's a little hard when you've been doing this for 5 years without doing things over and over again. So it's good to get a different aspect on things. So if you have ideas for shows, hit us up on Discord and or email.
I'm just taking a look here. Sorry. Checking Nina right now, and I thought it was doing a flip, but it's acting a little goofy. So fun. So we'll see how it goes. See. Oh, it could be the clouds just rolled in. All right. So, but yeah, this is the big thing, is like, what do you be targeting? Because next after this, I get enough data on Medusa, I'm going back to my galaxy groups, going after there's what they call the Gamma Leonis group.
Gamma Leonis, yep.
Leo.
Yep.
So that's one I'm targeting, as well as there is in Ursa Major NGC 3718.
Okay.
Which is a lenticular.
Yep.
And the lenticulars are really cool looking, because I believe, is it Centaurus A?
Yeah.
Is it lenticular?
It might be. It's either a lenticular or an irregular.
Okay.
But
it's so low for us here at 42 degrees latitude that we can't get it. But this one being in Ursa Major, it looks very similar. It's almost, it kind of reminds me of Centaurus A. So it could be a good alternative for me, since I can't get down to Florida or anything.
Yeah, it's
like
a lenticular or a giant elliptical.
Okay. Centaurus A?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you pull up NGC 3718, it kind of, if you take a look at that image take a look at that, it kind of reminds me of it.
Which one is it?
So, NGC 3718.
Oh yeah, I could see where you say that.
Yeah, it does favor it. So for those who you can't get, if you're not far, if you are kind of like Dan and I at the higher northern latitudes, and you can't get Centaurus A, check this one out. The NGC 3718.
Very ghosty.
Yeah.
Very ghosty. Yeah, I'll show you my picture real quick.
Okay.
There you go. They're very ghosty.
Yeah.
And you got a Hickson group right under it.
Yep, you do. Another one I was looking at was Hickson 44.
Yep, that's a good group.
That's a good, yeah. It's another good group. Was Hickson 44.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep. That's a really good group. So.
And you do need some length, focal length, to do this. So.
Mm-hmm. So there's another one for consideration, here in Galaxy season, or coming up in Galaxy season.
Yep.
And then there's NGC 2905. That one is in Leo, along with the Leo trio. You have this one, 2905.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Ooh.
Yeah, which is pretty cool looking as well.
Forgot it was live on TV for a second.
So there are a lot of pretty, great things to go out there and grab if you've got the equipment to grab those shots.
Yep. Let me see. Nice. All right.
Which Chris says that target was tougher than I thought. It's on AstroBand. Which one was that, Chris, that you were referring to?
You can put the link on Discord. I'll bring
What
it up.
was he talking about? Is he talking about the eyes, or is he going to do the eyes?
Look into my eye.
Yeah. 3781, NGC 3781.
An AstroBand?
3718. Yeah. 3718. Because do I have? Yeah, no, not yet. That's one that's on my list. Is 3718, and I was working on M94 as well. I did get some shots of M94. It's not. That one's not nearly, not even close to being done though. Getting enough data on it, but it is. But I did get a start on it for Messier 94. Yeah, the Croc's eye. So once the moon is in a more manageable phase for me to go back to do LRGB, this will be one I'll go after as well. There's so many different targets you can grab, but you just got to have the moon cooperate with you. Just wait for that right time.
Got Chris's here.
Anyone willing to image Odysseus on the moon for me? Yeah. I've fallen and I can't get up. Oh man, you know what? It did make history. It did land, but it got caught on a rock.
Yeah, well, it happens. But here's Chris's pick of NGC.
Oh, there you go. That's gorgeous, Chris.
Yep. That's with the 8-inch.
How much data? How much? How long? 20 hours. Okay,
20 hours.
So there it is. No, but you got a great group there and all that.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that poor lunar lander. You played I'm a Little Teapot.
Short and stout, man.
Yeah. Tip me over. Because I got caught on a rock.
I stubbed my toe.
Stubbed my toe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the poor soul who forgot to turn on the laser tracker probably looking for a job today.
I can't with you people. I can't.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Here we go. Oh, my God. Where's the button? Where is it? There it is.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't work. That button doesn't work. Okay.
That button doesn't work right now.
It doesn't work.
Oh, man.
Bummer.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. The off the rails button is broke.
Yeah. It's down right now. So,
let's see if I can
you know
do
what,
it.
though? I am kind of surprised that you are going to that you're going to say that yes, let's have a show on Friday.
What, this Friday or next Friday?
Yeah, no, this Friday.
Well,
I'm kind of surprised you're saying we're going to have a show this Friday.
This is Friday. Oh yeah, I know. I might get divorced.
Yeah, you might get divorced.
It's Jen's birthday, so that's.
Oh man! Like, what do I do? What do I do? Do I do the show? Do I celebrate Jen's birthday? Do I sneak out and go to a movie and see Dune 2?
We're going on the 2nd to see Dune 2. I already got tickets.
All right.
So,
choices.
hey, Jen, when are we supposed to go to dinner? For your birthday? Thursday? What day? Sunday. Okay, Sunday. All right, so we're going out Sunday.
Norm says the laser guy would have not let it land where it did, because it was like a mile off from its target landing, from its target landing spot in that crater.
I know.
But it wouldn't have let it land when it did, but someone forgot to activate it.
Well, I just watched Dune 1 for the 3rd time again. So
okay.
And there is a lot of stuff in the Denis Villeneuve's version, the newest version of Dune, that alludes a lot to the prequels. You don't know a lot of stuff that Paul's father is talking about. Is all about all about his father, the old dude.
You need to know. Yeah, I think you need to. But even when the first ones came out, now I appreciate these. They're a lot truer, sticking a lot truer to, the author's vision, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Versus the past ones, because you do have those references towards, Duke Atreides, the references that are from prequels or before.
Yeah, but you got to remember that even the Sci-Fi Channel version of Dune and Children of Dune, which held probably, in my opinion, the closest to the books so far out of all of them.
Is that the one with James McAvoy?
It's which one's James McAvoy? It's with William Hurt. I know.
Yeah. Sorry, I know we're going off the rails here. This one.
Yep, that's it. Yep. That's it. That held closest to the book. But it's Dune 84 had nothing, with the exception of the names of the characters and some lines, had anything to do with the book whatsoever. but it was a good movie. I will kill him. It was a good movie. I thought it was a good movie. It's got a cult following. It was one of five. It was one of 5 movies in Leonard Maltin's Book of Movies back in 1985. He had a 5-star movie rating, right? Although
Leonard Maltin gave it a 5 stars.
Leonard Maltin gave it one of 5 movies got this rating, and it didn't even get a star. It got a turkey. And
wait a minute.
So the only other one that I remember that also received the turkey was Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. That's the only other one. So I know there was 3 other ones, but those are the only 2 I remember. But
oh gosh, yes. Oh man, I remember. Oh gosh, I remember Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Oh my gosh. I think I watched that. I think there was this there's this guy on Fox back in the day, in Chicago, the son of Svengoolie, which he was this guy that was all draped, just all doctored up, with makeup and stuff like that. Came out of a coffin and all that stuff. And one of the movies he showed was Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Oh man, that brings back some. That brings back some memories.
Well, Starlancer, you got to remember the original '80s Dune, right? And what's his name? Herbert was still alive when they were filming it, and Brian was a little boy, Brian Herbert, who ended up taking over the entire genre and started writing the books with Kevin J. Anderson later on. But Frank Herbert was still alive, and he died before the movie came out. But whatever the case may be, you got to remember who directed that movie. Does anyone remember who directed that movie? The original Dune? And
No, I
yes,
don't recall.
it did have Captain Picard in it. So, can't beat, Captain Picard playing Gurney Halleck. You can't beat it. But anyway, the person who directed that movie was the film noir director David Lynch, and David Lynch also directed stuff like Twin Peaks. Very weird kind of stuff.
Weird stuff.
And as a matter of fact, they changed the movie so much that David Lynch didn't want to get any credit for directing the movie, so they changed the name of the director to Judas Booth, and which is like kind of like a what do you call it, like a whatchamacallit kind of thing,
like a ghostwriter, or
yeah,
like
it's where directors get changed in the middle, and if you look in the director's cut, it doesn't say David Lynch, it says Judas Booth in it, and
Wow.
it's a very, very weird movie, and but you know what? It was good. It was good. I still enjoy the '84. I actually purchased.
Be right back.
Where you going?
I gotta take care of something.
Oh,
But,
okay. So then, if Eric's leaving, I'll go completely off the rails here.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I received a new movie poster this week. Two new movie posters, something that I've been dying to get, and I'll pull up the pictures real quick because I took pictures of them because I was so happy they finally came. But I'm a movie poster collector of sorts. I look for original movie posters that I like, and movies of things that I enjoyed as either a kid or whatever. And I was able to pick this guy up, and I'll show that to you real quick. Here it is. I was able to pick this up, and I'm so happy that it came. It's folded because that's the way posters came back in the '80s. But it's an original movie poster. You got the code down there, the movie poster code down there. And I also picked up another one. I guess I didn't take a picture of it. I'm really annoyed that I didn't take a picture of it. Oh yeah, I did. There it is. That's the other one that I got. I had to get that one. I had to get it. But there you go. So I got the Golden Child, and I got Rocky 3. Rocky 3 was the, Mick, come on, Mick. But anyway. But yeah, so I mean, off-axis guiding, getting back to Astro, off-axis guiding is a real important thing to do when you're up at long focal lengths, because you want to make sure. Oh, thanks, Ed. Ed took a picture of Thor's helmet yesterday. We can take a look at that. Oh, it looks pretty good. It looks like a nice job. Take a look at this. This is from my buddy Ed. I'll download this really quick. Save and open up my downloads. Where is it? Downloads. Save. To desktop. There we go. And this is a picture of my buddy Ed took. If I could get it up here real quick. Just image. Where is it? There it is. And it's slowly coming up. Here we go. So this is one that my buddy Ed took the other night with the shot with this Poseidon. Still learning a little bit about processing, so there's some Thor's helmet action for you. Nice job, Ed. Looks pretty good. You just gotta worry about those darks a little bit. The stars look a tad hot, a little hot. And you probably could stretch out some more nebulosity here. So, but it looks really good. It's a good start. So stars look great. Nice job. There you go. We'll go back to here, and no, not bad at all. Yeah. So I mean, it looks, again, it's a work in progress, right? You want to make sure that you get the practice in. It's just like anything else. If you're not able to, get the data and then make sure you're practicing and doing the right thing and making sure you got stuff like, oh my God, this thing is so heavy. Your image spacing correctly so that the spacing from the prism to your chip here, your prism to your chip here, is equidistant to each other, so you stay in focus as you move focus back and forth. Really important. So, really nice job, everybody. And I'm just going to wait Eric to come back for final thoughts because it's about that time. It's 10:43. I hope everything's okay there with Eric. And let's see. Back in the 60s and 70s, my grandpa would send Apollo and space posters to me. I have somewhere, some way, a picture of, they sent it out. There's a Man in the Moon slideshow. I have pictures of that my uncle took back in, '69. So, you're tired, lady. Look, you keep on changing your name. You come back in different names all the time. I used to have a golden child clock. That's great. Golden child's good. What was that with the flip? What was that? Where am I going for the eclipse? Well, the eclipse, I have a number of choices. I think I'm going to be helping my buddy Ron. My buddy Ron is, we're going to go cruising together. I think that's where I'm going to end up going, depending on where that is. I do not know. We might be going north to the Buffalo area, or we might be going south to the, Oklahoma / Texas area. So we're unsure where we're going to be, but we're going to be somewhere. Stay tuned for that because it's going to be an interesting April because we got the eclipse and we got Neath, so we got a lot of stuff going on in April. So it's going to be really interesting on how to kind of do something. I don't know who's old. I don't know. Somebody's old. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully try to get down to Carbondale.
And that's Illinois.
I'm gonna make. Yeah, that's Southern Illinois. Yeah, that's the tip of Southern Illinois. Yep.
Hey, maybe we'll meet you there. I mean, I don't know. It depends because if we get together for the eclipse, that'd be actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna end up trying to find a my son went to university down in Southern Illinois University. And there's a Walmart there. So I might end up just setting up in the Walmart. With all the RVs.
Are in the day, right?
Yeah. With all the RVs and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. It was the intersection both to 2017. Yep. It was same. So it's kind of cool. That was for 2017. It went through Carbondale. And now for 2024. Yeah, SIU party school. I was on my son. He didn't do that much partying, thank goodness. But
that you know of.
Yeah, that I know of. It's true. Fair enough.
Know of.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm sure I did a lot more partying than my dad knew of. All right. All right. So it's about that time, my friend.
Yep. It's about that time. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us and joining us. If you like this show, do us a huge favor. It doesn't cost you anything, but we would truly appreciate it if you gave the show a thumbs up, gave it a like on Facebook, as well as, like I said, a thumbs up on YouTube. It really helps us out. It really helps grow the name of AstroWorld. You have no idea how much it will help what we're trying to accomplish here, just by doing that simple before you leave or through replay, just giving a simple like or thumbs up. And I know Dan has mentioned it before. Drop in, comments. Drop in some comments in the comments section. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know if there's any improvements we can make. Anything that you have an idea about that you would like to talk about. We've talked about so many different things. OAGs, Galaxy season, long focal length, the eclipse coming up. We try to cover as much content and topics that are happening nowadays. We've even been talked about the poor, Odysseus,
Yep.
poor Odyssey, lunar rover, stuff like that. So definitely, we would appreciate that. Yeah, more than apology.
We're gonna
permanent peers.
We're gonna end up
I
doing
can talk to you about a permanent peer. I've got one of those.
Yeah, me too. But we could sit there and do the Astro word of the day.
Yeah. You know what? Speaking of Astro word of the day or something like that, I was thinking maybe we do on Friday nights, because it's more newbie night, more laid back. Maybe we do some astronomy trivia. Maybe do an astronomy trivia thing, for like towards the end of the show, like for the last 10 or 15 minutes, something like that. Let me know what you guys think.
we could do like and the winner of the trivia gets like a $20 gift certificate to AstroWorld telescopes. How about that?
Yeah, something like fun. That. Something fun. Who knows? But or just we just do it for fun. Who knows? But give us a thought. Give that a thought. Like I said, on Fridays, that's more of our laid back time, and just before the weekend, have a little bit of fun.
You're gonna try and stump us. Oh God, that doesn't sound too hard though.
Not too hard. Not at all. So it's just like quiz on Eric's constellation presentations.
Oh my God. Yeah. Question number one: how many ladies did Zeus sleep with during the course of I don't know.
Enough that Hera would just PO to the highest level of being PO.
I can't believe she didn't kill off Zeus after all that. I mean, I don't understand. I can't believe.
Oh man.
Nobody knows. Yeah, how do you pronounce? We'll start off. We'll start off with the Pleiades.
How do you pronounce Pleiades? How do you pronounce Ganymede?
How do you pronounce Asifa?
Asifa.
Or
spell particular for us.
Yeah, there was none on last Friday. There was no presentation for me. I totally forgot. Yeah. I dropped the ball.
Yeah, you owe. Speaking of that, how many are we at now? Have you taken account of how many
I can
we've
real
completed
quick?
so
I have
far?
it right here.
I was kind of curious. Of the 88 constellations, how many have we done so far? Are we over or under 50%?
Okay, there you go. Over or under 50%. So that would be 45 would be over and 44 would be equal or under. So
yes.
Let's see.
What do you all think? Tom says over. Dave says under. Over, under, over. Roger. Roger. Over. Yes, it's quite.
Over. Roger, over. What's your vector, Victor?
What's your vector, Victor?
You ever watch movies about gladiators? So
you look like you're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You play for the Los Angeles Lakers. No, I'm not. I'm an airline pilot.
Listen to me, kid.
Yes, listen to me, kid.
Hey, all right. So for those of you that said over, You are incorrect.
Ah,
We are at 33 constellations, so we still got a
33.
good 55 to go. So we are under. We've done
We are-
33 constellations so far. We
If
will.
Dan would have done his last week, would have had 34.
Yeah, that's why we're at an odd number because I forgot to do one. but so 33, like 42, like Slotty Botfest.
Yes, yes.
What's your name?
42.
It's not important. All right. It's 10:53, my friend.
Yes. So, what are your final thoughts?
Mine? Looks like I picked
Yeah.
the wrong day to stop sniffing glue.
Tip me over and pour me out.
Whoops.
I fallen and I can't get up. Oh, Odysseus, no.
Oh man,
All
no. Seriously though, off-axis guiding is a really good way to get a hold of your guiding if you're having issues at long focal lengths. So seriously, if you're over like that 1,000 or so millimeter in focal length, like Eric alluded to earlier today, feel free to start considering off-axis guiding as your solution to any guiding issues that you may have incurred during any. It could be just a sporadic thing. But it could be an ongoing thing that you're having an issue with, and also take a look at your pixel sizes. Maybe your pixels are too big for your rig. That you may need smaller pixels in order to catch that movement of the stars. And as far as the focusing is concerned, well, I'm going to leave that to you. That's a kind of thing that you kind of judge for yourself on how you get the best results. Is it a little bit out of focus? Is it in focus or not? Me personally, I like it a little bit out of focus, but then again, you're talking to the guy that had, CCD cameras until like 3 years ago. So, so that being said, there's a lot of stuff going on. And what the 2600 Duo we spoke quite a lot about tonight, but we're gonna have to wait to see how the mono performs. I'm curious to see how that performs. And I'm curious. I'm really not going to be surprised that 7 nanometers or higher that it performs well. I'm really curious to see those 4 nanometer Altair or the 3 nanometer Optolongs.
Yeah, that's the big thing for me too, because unlike having an off-axis guider where you don't have to contend or deal with a filter,
yeah. Yep.
With the Duo, the filter is right in front. Is right in front.
Yep.
Front and center, man. It is. So that's where I've got my questions.
Nope, we'll just have to see. We'll see as it comes out, and I'm sure within the next couple of weeks or so, we're gonna get more and more pictures. Excuse me, more and more pictures out there, and more results out there, and looking forward to see what ZWO has come up with. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, all right, everybody's heading out.
Everybody's
I think
out.
we ought to call it as well.
Absolutely.
Everybody's checking out. So don't forget, thumbs up, like, help us out. Let us know how we're doing. So, but other than that, for me, so have a great rest of your week, and we will see you on Friday.
Yep, absolutely, everybody, and have a great night. Have a great week, and somebody, we forgot to say Hump Day. It's Hump Day today, just Hump Day, Humpty Daisy. But absolutely. So everybody have a great rest of your week. Enjoy, your upcoming Thursday and Friday. Don't forget to come hang out with us and see the picture or image of the week this Friday. We got a bunch. Don't forget to vote. And please, like Eric said, throw some comments in there. Join us on Discord. And if you do like us, please consider subscribing to the channel and helping us grow. So, and if you really like us, you could join us on Patreon. And we did receive one new member this week. So thank you for our newest member on Patreon, and I'll put that on the slides for Friday. So everybody have a great night. Remember, always keep imaging as long as there's no clouds. Keep educating, and there's skies without clouds. There you go. All right. So
I got no cloud, so I'm keep imaging.
Nothing but clear skies. No, sorry. Okay. So have a good night, everybody. Take care.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you on Friday.